Drake versus Childish Gambino back and forth, beef, whatever you want to call it, feud, battle, things of that nature. This doesn't go back to 2018. This doesn't go back to 2011. This goes back to the 2000s. Now, here we go. Walk with me. Stay with me here. In the 2000s, in 2005, Childish Gambino was a junior at NYU, and he becomes a part of this comedic trio called their comedy, their improv comedic group, and things of that sort. They make skits. At the very beginning of YouTube, they become one of the first, if not the first, viral sketch comedy group on the platform of YouTube. And they make moves. They become like these celebrities and things of that sort. Tina Fey is looking for more diversity within the writer's room and things of that sort. At 30 Rock, someone says, hey, have you ever seen these guys at NYU, 30 Rock? And she sees this black kid, Donald Glover, who kind of shines above. Shouts out to DC Pearson, but he kind of shines above them and stuff like that. So she's like, I want that kid. She brings him on. He writes for 30 Rock. He wins an Emmy writing for 30 Rock. And that is what is going on. At the same time, at NYU, he was making beats and DJ mixes under the name MC DJ. And he needed someone to rap over said beats. So he decided to rap over them himself, which he got on a drunk night out with his friends at NYU and put his name into the Wu-Tang name online generator. And he came up with Childish Gambino. So as a joke, as the comedian he is, he stayed along with that joke of a name as his rap name. And he started rapping in 2005. The same time around, Lance Armstrong had the bands. He has a rap line about this years later down the line and things of that sort. So there's that. Drake, at the same time, is on Degrassi. He's on Degrassi, one of the more popular shows on TV for teenagers and things of that sort. And at the same time, he is writing notebooks and notebooks of rhymes and raps. He's studying rap. He loves rap. He loves hip hop. And his plan is to someday make it big as an artist because that is his true passion of hip hop and music and things of that sort. These are the mid 2000s. He's releasing songs. One of my favorites from this era is AM to PM. This is the life that I live from AM to PM. So that is Drake, right? But he's still acting. He's more known for acting in Degrassi than his rapping at the time, right? Same thing with Childish Gambino. He's an Emmy award-winning writer for 30 Rock and a part of this comedic trio, Genius Derek Comedy. So there you have it. We go to 2008 now. At this point, Drake is now considered by the blogs, by the online forums and stuff like that as the number one underground hip hop guy who's probably going to have the biggest, brightest future on all the rankings and things of that nature. This is the first time I heard about Drake and things of that sort from an online forum around 2008, and he was like number one on the countdown list of the guys that you think are going to blow up next and things of that sort. And he had the song I'm Still Fly, and he had all of these songs and So Far Gone and things of that nature. So, you know, he was doing songs with Trey Songz, and he had real motion. And Successful with Trey Songz was a legitimate hit. That was his first hit, right? So there you have it on that side. Meanwhile, Childish Gambino, this is his first project that he hasn't deleted and obliterated from the face of the internet, unless you go to some random, obsolete super fan page that uploads it on YouTube and things of that nature, just like Tyler the Creator with his old MySpace music and things of that nature. It's Sick Boy. 2008 Sick Boy. That's the first one that is kind of sticking online and things of that sort. And Gambino is doing something so niche and so different. Everything that Gambino does is punk, is different. You know, even though Drake brought something new to the game with melodic rapping and rapping about his emotions and being open and not just rapping about being tough guy, but rapping about, you know, girls ghosting him and all of these things. It was still something kind of like Nelly, Ja Rule, but just less gangster. You know what I'm saying? So it was still something kind of similar and commercially appealing. Childish Gambino, meanwhile, made a whole project. Lil Wayne like punchlines. The entire time he's rapping like he's actually sick. So it's like that's the entire project. That's the entire project.
Yes, I'm Mr. Big Stuff. Yeah, my stuff Big Mac.
Very niche online internet kind of geeky type of stuff that he's making over here. And he's still allowing his, you know, Derek comedy buddies like DC Pearson to get features and Chaz, Fungus and Fangus, all these white guys from NYU. He's still letting them get features because they're his friends and things of that sort. And some of their verses, shouts out to DC, I rock with DC, but some of those verses that his white friends at NYU had were just like what you'd expect from white guys at NYU trying to rap. So Childish Gambino still very, very niche and small online and things of that sort, while Drake is budding and he's punching through commercial success as the top dog. Signs to Lil Wayne, officially becomes Young Money, drops Best I Ever Had, and the rest is history. You know the rest of the Drake story. He's been the number one guy in hip hop since 2009, and it's 2025. And you can argue he's no longer the top guy, but if you want to say he's around the top guy, you can say for sure between 2009 and 2025. So 16 years, a run we've never seen before in the history of rap music. So that's Drake. Meanwhile, Childish Gambino, Drake has officially crossed over as actor to rapper. No one cares about Drake's acting. It's just a footnote when people say, oh, that's the kid from Degrassi, but nobody cares. Like, he's become so successful as a rapper, it is what it is. Meanwhile, Childish Gambino, he is now on Community, which is an NBC TV show. So people are now knowing him now as the Dare comedy guy and the guy on Community. And behind the scenes, he's the writer from 30 Rock. He's kind of grown his following as a comedian. I think he had a half hour on Comedy Central at this point before he got an hour ultimately on Comedy Central and things of that nature. And so he's on Community, and he drops the first piece of work that not only just sticks and he hasn't deleted and obliterated from the face of the internet, but also a project that has songs that stood the test of time and are still hidden today. With Cul-de-sac in 2010, that album features Got This Money, Soul Fly, and the one that still hits today in 2025, 15 years later, Do You Like? Which is an Adele sample and things of that nature. So Childish Gambino is finally starting to buzz and everything like that, have his own underground following. He releases I Am Just a Rapper, I Am Just a Rapper 2. These are things that he recorded like in a bathroom on his MacBook. And once again, to that niche crowd that really like Sick Boy, they're really starting to like I Am Just a Rapper, I Am Just a Rapper 2. And for good reason. Like, he's rapping over indie beats and it's something different. I really like it. I really like a couple songs of I Am Just a Rapper and I'm Just a Rapper 2. I'm not even gonna hold you. So there's that. He's building an online niche, kind of nerdy hip hop corner of the internet. And Cul-de-sac was kind of like the first crossover of just the blog era in general, really accepting Gambino as one of the front-facing guys of that era with hip hop and things of that sort in the underground. So that's 2010. While he's on Community, people still probably know him on a wide range scale, probably more for Community than his actual music at this point. So Drake is doing his thing. I better find your loving. Like, he's already Drake at this point. Headlines, all of this stuff. And then here we go, 2011. Childish Gambino finally has some type of motion. Cul-de-sac is out. It's been making its reigns. Do You Like is doing this thing and things of that nature. He releases EP before Camp comes out. Once again, another thing that really sticks and another big leap for Childish Gambino with because EP had Freaks and Geeks. Freaks and Geeks was like the first thing where the music video was on MTV, VH1. It was on TV. He was now Childish Gambino on TV now, not just Childish Gambino online. He's made that crossover. And then he does the full hour stand-up of Weirdo, where he has classic jokes of such like, but he made Graduation when talking about Kanye and things of that sort, a joke that people still refer to this day. And the girls joke about, girls, what do you want? Destiny's Child, make up your mind. Like, can you pay my bills? And I need a soldier. And it's like, those two don't mix. And, you know, he just had a bunch of classic moments that a lot of people like from that set of Weirdo. He does the I Am Donald tour where he does his stand-up first hour. He does a skit in between on a video, and then he comes back out as a rapper and does a full rap show. Then comes November 2011. Him and Drake are releasing albums on the same day. Headlines: hottest thing smoking right now, a single off of Drake's Take Care. And then Childish Gambino, meanwhile, released Heartbeat as a single. That's once again MTV, everything like that. Childish Gambino's an established artist at this point. But also Bonfire. And Bonfire is where Childish Gambino coming up as he's coming up through Cul-de-sac and sticking as an underground artist and things of that sort, with a bigger and bigger online cult following and things of that nature through the 2009, 2010, 2011. And more interviews are just asking him about, you know, have you ever seen an actor really become a rapper and a successful rapper at that, and things of that nature? Drake is being brought up a lot. He's constantly being compared to Drake. And so here we go. 10 minutes in, and we finally have the opening of where this all starts. 2009, 2010, 2011, Childish Gambino's going on press tours as Childish Gambino, and people are asking him about Drake and being like Drake and being an actor turned rapper like Drake. So they both rap and sing as well. So as we get here, he's saying, he's just saying things about, yeah, Drake, this and that, da, 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 I mean, Drake's the only one to do it, this and that. But here we go with Bonfire, the song. Man, why does every black actor got a rap song? I don't know. All I know is on the best one. And when I first heard this, I was thinking of like Cal and Corey Massey. Shouts out to the Massey Bros. And I was thinking about Cookie, Daniel Curtis Lee from Next to Classified. Wasn't thinking about Drake because I didn't even forgot Drake was even an actor turned rapper and things of that sort. But those were the two guys I was thinking about. But that was definitely, in hindsight, definitely including Drake in there. And then later he says, I don't talk soft. That's that other guy in the same song. And he's asked about it in a Fuse interview.
Soft, that's the other guy. Who's the other guy?
I was just talking about other dude.
As you see, he kind of beat around the bush. I don't know if I'll be able to even put in his full answer, but he pretty much beat around the bush and said, yeah, I'm talking about other rappers, but I'm also talking about myself because I have different personas. Like some songs I can be soft and sing about my love or being heartbroken by a girl, and other songs I'm very aggressive and hard and things of that sort and nature and things of that nature. So it's like I'm talking to myself as well. That's not me. That's that other guy that talks soft. And then the interviewer knows who he's talking about. So she follows up with saying, speaking of soft rappers, you dropped the same day as Drake.
Well, speaking of a soft rapper, right? So your album drops the same day as Drake's Take Care.
November 2011, Take Care and Camp come out at the same day. Childish Gambino, underground following, viral cult, nerdy stuff. Drake, established mainstream guy. Lil Wayne cosign, he is stamped. All right, so here we go. He brings it up. He says, I mean, we can all admit like Drake speaks kind of softly. This was in the radio interview I cannot find. I remember he said it, but I cannot find it. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm not going to lie. Take that with a grain of salt. I probably shouldn't have said it if I couldn't find it, just to be responsible. So, but take that with a grain of salt. That is my disclaimer there. So then, we get to So the albums come out and things of that nature. Drake is still Drake. Childish Gambino gets a little more attention now. Bonfire, Heartbeat. And over the years, LES has become like his most streamed song, which is very just kind of surprising how that just shot up out of nowhere as an album cut and things of that nature. So there is that. We move on, and now it's kind of, Childish Gambino still establishing himself as a rapper in the space. And now he's taking this like, I'm ready to get bigger. Like the whole niche thing is cool and I still want to be niche. I still want to be punk. But at the same time, like I'm ready to be bigger than these other guys because I feel like my talent level is there. Like I can really rap now. I'm not getting the attention just because I'm making like a lot of rock type of music and things of that nature. So what does he do? He drops Royalty in between Camp and Because of the Internet. Royalty 2012, July 4th of July, and things of that nature. He goes on 106 to promote it, and he tells Terrence J, no, this is going to be different than my other music. And Terrence J is like, oh, okay. And he's really real about it. He has RZA and all of these, rap legends on the tape and things of that sort. Nipsey Hussle's on the tape. And it's a classic. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's a classic. So it's an online blog era classic. I'll say it like that, mixtape. So he drops Royalty. That does his thing. He tours with Absol, Schoolboy Q. Chance the Rapper was on some dates, and so was Danny Brown. Danny Brown was also touring with them and stuff like that. So it was a bunch of underground blog era rappers and things of that sort. As they're touring, he's really getting up his just whole steez at this point. This is also the year 2012 where he does the cypher at the BET Hip Hop Awards with A$AP Rocky, Tricky Graham, Angel Hayes. And this was kind of like the first time I realized that Childish Gambino was the same dude from Derek Comedy and Community. and then I caught all the way back up and things of that sort. So, Gambino's really on a run now. He's really a legitimate rapper, and he has a lot of steam picking up into because of the internet. Because the internet's rollout, he deletes all his tweets. He goes zero dark 30, and he does kind of like the way that he uses social media now, where he only posts when he's promoting something or rolling out something and things of that nature, as opposed to back in the day, because of the internet, he was active on social media just like everybody else at the time. So, he's promoting, because of the internet, and he's playing the boy, the character, which was an interesting choice. And then, because Drake eventually goes with the boy as well, calls himself the boy. I don't know if that was like he was stealing from him. And then he does the Deep Web tour. Childish Gambino does the Deep Web tour after he releases Because of the Internet. And at the Deep Web tour, he has this thing where you have an app and you can vote and you show it on the screen and stuff like that of the results in real time. It was something that's never been done before. Lil Wayne and Drake also went on tour like later that year around the same time, and they did that. An app where you see the results on the screen. So it was like he was stealing from Gambino. Like it was small things that you could see that he was kind of just taking from Gambino early on, like around the 2013 wave and stuff like that. 3005 made by Stephen Ponce and Childish Gambino and stuff like that. That beat was originally on Hit Boy's Trophies for Drake. And this was when Drake was like, everything he was putting out singles was hidden for where the world kind of stopped and listened to his singles and things of that nature. And it was originally for Childish Gambino 3005, but he gave up the beat. It is what it is. He said Drake made it awesome. It is what it is. I don't see a problem with it. Drake fans see it as a reason why Childish Gambino's jealous of Drake. We'll get to that later. So, that happened. And then, the Control verse happened. That changed like everything in hip hop. It was kind of like a lot of buddy hip hop at that time. And Kendrick, just much like he did with the Big Three, it's just Big Me, boom. It was like Kendrick really had a reset of like, let's remember where we are right now and what this is. This is a sport. This is a competition. We're competing against each other. So that was 2013 with Kendrick. He released it. He didn't name drop Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino said, I wished I was named on it. I can't find that video, but he said, I'm mad that I wasn't named on it because I think the guys he named were the guys he considers the best. And then he also said, I'm not tripping on it. I don't think it's real beef. It seemed like everyone named in the Control verse either rapped back at it or they just said, I understand it. Salute to Kendrick. We all trying to be the best and things of that sort, except for Drake. This started off the 12-year festering of Not Like Us and everything like that, the whole back and forth between Kendrick and Drake. That was 11 years in the making, 2013 to 2024. So that's where it all started because Drake didn't take the Control verse well. Remember this. So Gambino on his tour after Because of the Internet, he freestyles with his brother Steve G. Glover at the end of the set, at the end of every show on stage. And it's really off the top. It's really kind of like no different than rapping with your friends off the top, because it wasn't nothing like a King Los thing. It was just like having fun with your friends type of rap. And it was cool to watch as a hip hop fan and things of that nature. You feel like you're kicking it with your homies. But he sent a lot of shots in this because he was drunk and high and stuff at all that at this point of the show, these point of the shows and stuff. And so he says he didn't care about Kendrick verse. People don't really talk about that, but that was the thing he did. And then later in Sydney, Australia, the famous one, he says, people say this brother think he Drake. I ain't Drake. I act better. I sing better. I rap better.
Make mistake. This think he Drake. Nah, I ain't Drake. I sing better. I do better.
Then he says, he turns around and he says, I'm the best rapper alive. Definitely top 5. I'm killing everyone. I'm cutting their heads off. That's Kendrick. That's Drake. That's Schoolboy. I don't give a care.
That's every rapper limerick. That's Kendrick. That's Drake. That's Schoolboy. That's everyone.
I'm the best. This is how everybody should feel. They're the best rapper. So that's what he said. Schoolboy Q, I think, was the only one that reacted to it directly.
Being on thoughts, I ain't tripping. That's cool. I ain't tripping. I fuck with Gambino.
And because I don't remember Kendrick saying anything about it. And Schoolboy was like, I'm not tripping. Gambino, he's my boy. His album hard. I ain't tripping. He said that in an interview. So once again, everybody named in the verse of name dropping and challenging people that he's a better rapper than had no problem with it, much like Kendrick with the Control verse in 2013, except for one person. 2015 happens. This is the next year. Drake comes out with the if you're reading this is too late, and he has 6 p.m. in New York, where he says, shout out my name on a world stage, you're so childish.
You should have kept it inside, or you tried it, so childish, calling my name on a world stage.
Shouts out to Jeremy Heck for pointing this out a couple years ago. So that happens. He finally responds to Childish Gambino directly. 2015. And at this point, Gambino was legit. He was Grammy nominated for Because of Internet. 3005 was a mega hit. Sweatpants and Telegraph Avenue were also like relatively kind of radio songs and things of that nature that were on the radio constantly and things of that sort. He was an established guy. Like, you can no longer ignore Childish Gambino. You knew who he was. So there that was 2015. He gets his first response from Drake. 2016, 2017 era, Childish Gambino is in London filming Star Wars, and he's working on This Is America and all of his new music, Awaken My Love and things of that nature, while he's working on Star Wars in London. Drake is in London. I don't know if you guys remember that, but when he did the playlist for like More Life, and he was doing the thing with Griggs and Skepta, and he kind of like introduced America and the rest of the hip hop world to like a lot of the UK drill rap that was going crazy at the time and stuff like that. And he kind of was taking that flows, and this is where Earl Sweatshirt was like, oh, this man's a culture versus anything, right? That's besides the point. Drake was with Childish Gambino one night, and he took a picture of Childish Gambino in 1985, the producer and one half of the R&B group Division, and he said, very inspiring humans. That post has now been deleted. It was up until a couple years ago, but it's now since been deleted. Awaken My Love is out. Childish Gambino was already established, but Redbone takes his career to a whole nother level, and at the same time, Atlanta comes out, so he's like now known as an A-lister for more or less terms. Like, he goes from underground guy to kind of semi-known mainstream act to A-lister in Black Hollywood especially. So that's where Childish Gambino is. And there's like a weird kind of friendship but mutual respect there between Childish Gambino and Drake at this point, because they see each other at a party, and the photographer gets some, and Childish Gambino's talking to Drake's dad and his gram, and they pose for a picture together. So it's like, do these guys hate each other, or is there a respect for him, or did like Gambino finally work his way up to Drake's level and there's a mutual respect of like, you finally met me here at the top? I don't know. So that happened. Then we get to 2018, This America comes out. He sames it was Drake diss.
It started as a Drake diss, to be honest.
Drake responds with it's overrated, overrated. Travis album comes out, the Utopia one, and on Meltdown, Drake disses Gambino again. Claim you will love this American stuff, but really the truth is you're scared of the 6.
Act like you love this American shit, but really the truth is you're scared of the 6.
Yeah, you're scared of the 6. So then Childish Gambino comes out of hiding to release his albums. Out of Vista, which is just a re-release of 31520 and Bendo Stone. So he's on Instagram Live promoting the album and stuff like that. And he says, I just want to have fun. I want to make some fun music and stuff like that. He says, we don't have fun in rap anymore. The most fun we've had in hip hop is when is during a diss song where we were all making fun of a guy. And he said, I enjoyed it very much.
The fun we had was from a fight. Was a song from a fight, from a rap beef, which I enjoyed every minute of. It's very fun, but still kind of negative in a certain light, I guess.
But, it was a diss song. So that was that, right? Then he comes back at Drake with releasing his album. So he responded on social media, and then he responded in the song. and he used Drake's flow in the song called Yoshinoa on Bando Stone. Where's the movie, by the way? And on Bando Stone, Yoshinoa, he says, I put your boy in the sea, I put your boy. And he just keeps saying the boy, the boy, the boy.
Stay where you at, you're supposed to, boy. It's fake, I won't ignore it. I put your boy in.
And he's talking about dudes being insecure, dudes having everything but nothing at the same time, him living a fulfilling life because he has a wife and kids, him making art that is full and not just hollow and things of that sort. Like most have said, kind of Drake's music was very Target-esque. Like it's easy, digestible, it's catchy, but there's not much substance there. Which, you know, you could look at it as hate. But, you know, that's just most Def's opinion. It is what it is. That was their latest amount of jabs thrown back at each other. Childish Gambino in between, when they had that weird bromance rivalry going on, peer rivalry. It was more like their beef is more like a Kanye and Drake beef, where there's a mutual respect there, but they have this thing where they choose to like each other sometimes and choose not to like each other other times. And then, but there was another one where there was the Atlanta episode where he was at Drake's house and Drake wasn't actually there. And, you know, he posted on Instagram. He said, I'm way too high for this, but this is hilarious. Like, what is this? Like, what's going on? So that was that. Here we go. Back to 2024. So that comes out and he tours the world playing Yoshinoa and things of that sort. And a lot of people caught it as like they not like us and Drake this and things of that nature. So we kind of go a year by and Drake is mentioning Gambino just by like with the 20v1s, but he's not really saying Gambino's name like or anything like that. He's still like, y'all switching up on me, y'all switch on gang, y'all wanted me gone and everything like that. It is what it is. So here we go. We get to 2025. After a year of quietness, Childish Gambino comes back after canceling his tour. He reveals that he had a stroke and a hole in his heart. Prayers up to Childish Gambino. We glad that he's good. And he comes back and sells merch and his cancel cards. And while some people are upset that he was like kind of making light of, you know, very serious things where victims were involved and stuff with R. Kelly and Diddy and things of that sort. The other two are pretty like silly. And it was Target, comparing Target to Adolf. And then because, you know, we don't go to Target, black people don't go to Target. And then the other one was Drake grooming a dog, but the dog had like a young girl's face and it was like Drake's a groomer. And so, which was a huge part of They Not Like Us and the whole Kendrick Lamar beef and things of that sort. So other people were just Drake fans upset at Childish Gambino. And a lot of people didn't know why or what's going on between those two because Gambino named one of his kids Drake as well. It's a whole thing. But that is literally kind of the history behind it, a little more context and a little more kind of background. It's essentially like, you know, as a man, as a professional, you don't want to be compared to somebody or constantly downplayed because of someone else's success. You work hard for your own individual success. That's all it is. And you want to be the best. Everybody wants to be the best at what they do. So I think it's like a Childish Gambino looks at everybody as colleagues and coworkers. And but when it comes down to work, he wants to be the best. And it's not something just conducive to Drake or exclusive to Drake. He's just Tyler Perry.
Would you like a grit?
Justin Bieber. G-Eazy, Chance the Rapper, Lil Dicky. He's just all of these guys before. And Chance is like his man. So it's like, I don't think it's anything personal. It's just like, I think I'm better than y'all. I think I'm better than y'all. And he's a comedian. So it just is what it is. But that's it. That's all it comes down to. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I can edit it to a way that makes sense. If there's anything that is like still confusing to you guys, just let me know in the comment section and hopefully I can clear it up. Until next time, my name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 10K subs. If you are new to the channel, please take care of yourselves.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.